Hello, boys and girls. We're going to get started in our reading interactive notebook. So if you'll grab that, and you also need your plastic snap closure envelope. Let's get the camera open so I can show you everything. All right. Okay, so we're going to need our reading and grammar, and we're going to need to get in here. And these pages that are stapled together, okay, they may not be the same exact color, but they should be close. On the very back side, you have a page that has these alphabet letters, okay? And then the next page has this with spots for the different ones, okay? So we're going to tear that off, the last two pages in the book, put these back in your envelope so that they're there when we meet them another day, okay? So you have these two pages right here, okay? We're going to, first of all, cut out around this one so it's nice and neat and just has what we need in the book. Okay. Put it over the top here. Okay. So that part's cut out. Okay. So what we're going to do is open our book, and you need to go to the reading section. So make sure you're in the reading section. So in the reading section, we have the borrowed book and character traits. We have Sweet Tooth story and the character traits for the second page. We have Cosmic Ice Cream and then the Crunch Crunch page. And then we have the Name the Trait page. Then we have the Honest Henry page. And the Active Anna page. And the Pink and Blue page. Then we have Sergio in Space. And the Case of a Sneaky Puppy. Okay. And then we have context clues. All right. So on this one, we're going to glue. We're going to glue the orange page down first. All right, so I'm going to tuck this as tight to the edge as I possibly can, okay? Tuck that in as close to this spine, the edge, as you can. Really close. See, mine's like right on the edge. Okay, glue that down. And then we're going to grab the yellow paper, and we're going to cut out each of these little boxes. So we have a little bit of cutting to do here. There's a little line right between each card. I didn't see that on the first one, so I cut it a little small. Okay, so you should have A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and H. Okay, those should be all of your choices. So I'm going to set them up right here. So A, B, C, D. Oh, that one's E. F, G, and H. Okay, so I have those all, they're not glued down, they're just laying there. All right, so it says which ones have the same meaning. All right, so let's read through these and then let's read through these. All right, so the first one, I like to sleep with the fan on so that I don't get too hot. Mom is my biggest fan at all of my soccer games. So it's using the word fan, but in two different meanings. It's the different context. In this context, the fan is helping cool the person off. In this context, the fan means that the person who supports the most. All right, so on this side, we're going to look for a sentence with fan in it. So there's one with fan, the E and A. Okay, E and A. So let's read those. A says, I only turn the fan on when it is hot outside. And this one says, she lives in Boston, so she is a big fan of the Red Sox team. Okay, so A, which one does it line up to? This one right here, right? Okay, so we're going to glue it and fold it in half. So just a little bit of glue right here. I'm going to fold it in half so it's kind of like, I don't know what the answer is going to be. Tape that side down too. Okay, so let's read this one again. Mom is my biggest fan. She lives in Boston, so she is a big fan of the Red Sox team. Okay, so glue right here. And line that up next to it. And fold it in half. Push it down. Okay. All right. If you need more time, go ahead and push pause, but we glued in A and E. And now we're going to go to number 3. I know that is made of duck because of the green head. Excuse me, not made. Let me get closer to that word. I know that is a male duck because of the green head. Oh my goodness. That makes more sense. I know that is a male duck because of the green head. And this one says, I had to duck to keep from hitting my head on the branch. So in this context, they're talking about an animal, the duck. And in this context, they're talking about having to slouch down or duck down and put your head down so that you don't hit something with your head. So we're going to look for the ones that say duck on here. So here's one, C and F. Okay. So he is so tall that he has to duck when he goes through the door. So that sounds like this one right here, number 4. And we save the stale bread to feed to the ducks. So that sounds like it's talking about the male duck that's right here. All right, so we're going to put a little glue right here. And we're going to glue in the letter F. It's kind of a little fat, isn't it? Kind of had to glue it a little bit on top of that one, which is fine. And that means that this one, he is so tall that he has to duck down so that he doesn't hit his head. That one goes right here. Okay. right, the next one says, my favorite band is performing at the fair Friday. It's not fair that I have to do more chores than she does. So this kind of fair is like one of those events you can go ride, fun little rides and have treats. And this one is saying what is the same, that they should be the same. So let's look for fair. I see there's one and there's one. Okay. The Ferris wheel is my favorite ride at the fair. So that's talking about a ride there. And the umpire helps to keep the game fair for both teams. So they're sharing equally on both teams. So I think that D goes up here. Ooh, it's kind of tight, isn't it, guys? I guess maybe I should have cut it out smaller. Right there. Okay. And this one goes here. It's kind of tight, isn't it? This is very tight. All right, so the last two. It takes practice for a baby bird to learn to fly. The fly was bothering the horse by getting in his eyes. So this is learning to do something. Flying is something to do. And this one is an actual insect. So this one says, if you don't put a lid on the salad, a fly will eat the food. So that's an insect. And this one says, I have never been on an airplane because I am scared to fly. All right. So I think 7 is B. These are getting harder to fit in here. I really should have cut them smaller. So if you haven't done these yet, cut them smaller so they'll fit. And the last one goes down here. And like that. So it can fit. Goodness. So if we can cut them a little smaller, they'll fit in there better. I think I'm going to go back there and do that. All right, just one sec. I'm going to pause the video and go back in and cut these and make them a little bit smaller. So just a moment. I will be right back. And just going to push pause, which I have to open this window to push pause. All right, guys. So make sure, let me go to the camera here. Make sure you get all of the scraps of paper, all of these things picked up, okay? And throw them in the trash can. Don't leave them for mom or dad to pick up, okay? Or baby brothers or sisters to get into. Make sure you take a second to put those away. It'd be the right thing to do. All right, so we just trimmed them down just a little bit so that they fit better in the space. Okay, so it should be A, E, F, C, D, H, B, G. All right, that's all we're going to do today in our interactive notebook. So right now you can head to your, let me come back to the camera here. All right, you can head over to Spelling City, and you have 4 activities to do for list 8, list C8. So you have, your practice test. That helps you see how many words you have to practice. So if you do really well on your practice test, you know that you're probably going to do well on your final test on Friday. If you didn't do very well on your practice test, now you know what words you really struggle with, so you can practice those. Might be good ones to write down several times. That's a good practice for that. And then also you have some matching sentences. I think hangman, hang letter, something like that. Now I can't remember. And then alphabetizing your spelling words. So you have those activities. You only have 4 this week. Usually I do 5 when we have 5 days, but I'm going to give you 4 and have you do your test on Friday. And if you get all of your work done by Friday, then you're off on Thanksgiving break until a whole nother week till November 30th. If you're not finished, you have until Sunday to get everything finished. If I see anything missing, I will be sending emails to remind you so that you can, get your grades in there. All right, guys, so head over to spelling, and when you're finished with some spelling, even if you just want to do one spelling activity today, then head over to math because we have a math lesson today. All right, guys, I will see you again in math.